How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Fate Stay Night Remastered. I have left off on such a horrible-ass choice. I don't know why I do this to myself. So, we have to make a decision here on whether or not we want to remove the shroud from Shirou's left arm, which is not even Shirou's arm, it's Archer's arm. And there's a lot of power in that bad boy. We have been told explicitly to keep that shit on. However, we're now being told to take it off in order to go about this plan. The thing is, I don't know if we can survive. I really don't. I don't really know what sort of direction this can go into, because if we take it off, death is definitely upon us. If not immediately, it will be upon us. I don't think there's a way to master it. But also, this is fate. Anything can happen. You could really be surprised by a lot of the events that happen here. But refusing to do so can actually throw a wrench in terms of the plans that we're trying to put together here. Things may not be able to play out as well as we're hoping, so we would just continue along thinking that everything will eventually work itself out, and they won't. So do we take the shroud off and try to survive? Or do we keep the shroud on and try to survive? That's sort of what we have going on here. I am thinking no more so. But also, like, the more I ramble, the more I'm thinking we say yes. I don't know. I really don't know here. This is Reen's idea. This is her idea of what we should be doing here. But Illya doesn't like the idea because it's just going to kill Shirou. I'm going to go with no. I can't do it. The pain from last night springs to mind. I was terrified by the indescribable agony and unavoidable death. But more than that, I'm afraid of what I'll do once I set this arm free. I give her a firm answer, fighting down the terror. And? Please tell me I made the right choice there, honestly. Tosaka seems very happy, even though I said no.
God
damn it, man. Her and her tests. Okay, nobody tell me what, like, happens if you choose the other choice, because there was a comment that I got in the last episode saying that we won't find out which is the good ending, or which will get us to, where we need to go, and which will lead us to a bad ending. So, leave me in the dark. Don't tell me anything, please. It's an earnest plea, not a warning. I squeeze my wrapped left arm, It's true that I don't want to take this off, but that means... I think we should be able to, like, figure things out. See, that's okay. It's still dangerous, but at least it's okay.
でしょ?
I thought we were just never gonna wash his left arm again,
せ
you
めて
know?
布が緩まった程度の反動には耐えられるようになっておかないと。
You guys ever get like a surgery on a limb and you just have to like keep that shit wrapped up and like not wet?
昨日の刻印はうまく馴染んでいるようだし、耐魔力だって上がっているし、意識の保護はイリアがやってくれるから、今なら5分ぐらいは OK なんじゃないかしら。
イリアが保護するって、そのイリアと2人でアーチャーの腕を押さえつけろってことか。
ちょっと違うよ。私が守るのはあくまでシロウの精神だけで、アーチャーからの逆流を我慢するのはシロウの役目。シロウはアーチャーの経験を引き出さなくちゃいけないんだから、防ぐんじゃなくて耐えなくちゃいけないでしょ。
I see. If Illya blocks the magical energy flow from Archer's arm, I won't be able to learn his magecraft. Even if it's toxic to me, I can't learn what it contains unless I taste it myself.
わかった。じゃあ俺は布を緩めてできるだけ左腕からの逆流に耐えればいいんだな。
ええ、その時は目を閉じて内側に意識を向けること。魔術回路を開く時と同じだから簡単でしょ。とにかくシロはアーチャーの投影技法を体験するだけでいい。身に染みさせるだけでいいんだから、間違っても理解しようだなんて思わないでね。ごめん、ちょっと席を外すわ。あとはよろしくね、イリア。すぐに戻るから、その間にシロを鍛えてあげてちょうだい。
Oh boy, oh boy. And with that, Tosaka suddenly leaves the dojo. Though not with any urgency.
どうしたんだ、あいつ。
She just ran off to save her ass.
さあ、何か忘れ物でもしたのよ。そんなことより、シロウにはやることがあるでしょ。拘束を緩めるなんてバカな真似は反対だけど、シロウが約束したのなら手伝ってあげる。さあ、リンが戻ってくるまでに済ませましょう。
Oh, come on, what's the worst that could happen, you know? Illya goes behind me and places a cool hand on my back.
イリア。
いいから、目をつぶって、シロウが一番得意な瞑想をして、魔術回路が開いたら、こっちでシロウの意識をプロテクトして、正外符の拘束を緩めるわ。タイミングはこっちで測るから、シロウは流れてくる魔力に耐えてるだけでいい。けど、くれぐれも死ぬ気で耐えて、左腕からの反動で、シロウは間違いなく飲み込まれるから。
I nod and slowly close my eyes. Quickly and quietly, I still my mind and create different nerves inside my body. In just a few days, it's become much easier to create my pseudo-nerves. Then, just as I complete the line of light running down my back...
余計な忠告をするね、シロウ。リンが知ってるのは、英霊の腕を移植された人間の痛みだけよ。だからリンは、これがどういうことになるか分かってない。けど、それも仕方ないわ。だって、シロウとアーチャーの関係を知っているのは、この世で私だけなんだから。
That seems to be true here, actually. I don't think Rin ever pieced two and two together, and there's no way Shirou could have. Illya says something strange in a voice I can't quite hear. Man, I miss Unlimited Blade Works and that crazy bullshit. Then, I find Tosaka's face right in front of mine. I wonder when she came back.
あれ、何やってんだ、トサカ。
Okay, cool. Alright, awesome.
なんでしょうね。様子。
それより、お昼は、リンとサクラの方が。
Man, we're missing key parts of these conversations here. That's weird. What are they whispering about right in front of me?
トサカ、イリア。
I can't raise my voice. Something must be wrong with my throat.
せーの。おい、何話してるんだ、二人とも。
They suddenly stop whispering. Oh, my voice is back. It seems like yelling helped clear up my throat.
何よ、さっきまでは私の味付けも新鮮だとか言ってたくせに。 シロ、辛いの苦手ってこと？
リンのは辛いんじゃなくてしびれるのよ。もうお昼はさくらに任せるって決まったんだから、いい加減諦めなさいよね。シロだってさくらのシチューがいいって言ったんだから。
Apparently, they were talking about lunch.
あのな、今はそんな場合じゃな。
The time, I almost say. I look at the clock and see that it's almost noon. Did we just, like, travel in time slightly? Something nags at me. Nothing's particularly wrong, but I feel a strange chill in the familiar dojo. Because it was just after 9 o'clock when Tosaka left. We have some new shit added to our shit. Knowledge I don't know in my head. Why are we talking about food? I joined the conversation. Speaking of which, what details of every weapon already in my head? Illya's worried. The white-hot pain in my arm, 40, then 26 times. Memories disappear, and I'm back to normal. Okay, we missed a little bit of all of that. I tap a finger on my forehead. I'm okay. Anyway, the dizziness is going away.
シロ、どうしたの？イリアと商店街まで買い物に行くんでしょ？
We did. Okay, hold on. Let's see our new data here, because something changed. I just have absolutely no idea where. We have new servant data, but is it here with Archer? Like, did we learn more about him? Doesn't seem like it. Who did we learn more about? Berserker? That would have been pretty cool. We already know about this. We already know about his skills. His noble phantasm. Yeah, who did we learn about here? I don't know. And we have a whole lot of weapons here. So this is the golden sword of assured victory. This is sabers. Do we have anything on the cool sword that we have to be trying to make? Let's see. We know about this. I think we know about this. I'm going to assume we know about this. I'm going to assume we know about all of these things, actually, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think we're on the same page with everything here, I think. If there is anything new, please let me know in the comments, and I will read them in the next episode. I searched my memory. I frowned for a bit before remembering that I did say I'd go shopping with Illya.
じゃあ行こうか、イリア。
I shake my head and start walking.
ちょっと、なんか変よあなた。生涯符を戻した時は元気だったけど、今になって疲れが出たとか？
そうだな。確かに少し混乱してる。
It's nothing compared to the pain I felt last night, and I'm in good physical condition. I got a little dizzy for a second there, but it doesn't pose a problem at all. Yeah, totally. No problems there. Totally not a gap in our memory or anything. I take Illya outside. I can't afford to go out shopping frequently anymore, so we'll have to stock up for about 3 days at a time. That's stocking up? Okay. Whatever you say, man. I would say, you know, at least a week is actual stocking up.
イリアは何がいい？差し当たっては昼飯のメニューだけど。
あれ、お昼はシチューじゃないの？シロ、さっきそう言ってたけど。
ああ、そうだった。まあ決まってるならはっきりしてていい。さくらのシチューって言ったらホワイトだから。
We head to the butcher's shop I usually visit. We're going to stock up for 3 days in any case. I can't waste money, so I need to maximize value and quality. I want to say that Illya has some good funds here, but I guess we're going to be the spender. Shit, even Rin is bound to have some really good funds. We spend a brisk 30 minutes shopping.
いっぱい買ったね、シロ。
Illya looked bored while we were shopping, but she seemed to enjoy herself once I gave her some bags to hold.
悪い、買いすぎた。イリア、そっち重くないか？
Oh, nothing is a
こっちの
challenge to
袋の方が軽
Illya.
いから取り替えよ
I hand her the lightest grocery bag out of the 7 I'm holding.
重 重くないから大丈夫。それよりもう一個持とっか。シロいっぱい袋下げててブドウみたいだよ。
いや、俺も平気なんだけど、ブドウってのはまたすごい例えだな。
本当は風船持ったピエロみたいだけど、ブドウの方が可愛いでしょ。
Hey, whatever works, you know. Illya runs through the street, talking happily.
待てってばイリア、重くはないけど走るのはさすがにきついんだって。
Rather than the weight, I'm afraid that the eggs and tofu in the bags might get crushed. I sigh and fast walk after Illya. This is the greatest concession I can give as the designated grocery shopper. And so I follow Illya, making a lot of noise as I hold my groceries carefully. That seems to tickle Illya, and she looks like she's having a lot of fun. That's good for her. She needs that. Once we leave the shopping district and I arrive at the intersection, Illya stops and turns to me. Oh, she's singing? Why don't we get to hear it? What the fuck? I want to hear this shit. Come on, sing in German. Illya starts singing, supermarket grocery bags in hand. The melody sounds familiar, like I might have heard it in school when I was a child. Yeah, I'm not gonna, like, read that out loud, guys. There's absolutely zero chance that I'm able to even do, like, a bit of that. I'm walking next to Illya, so I don't know what face she's making. I have no way of telling what expression she's singing with, or how she feels as she walks home. What song is this supposed to be, exactly? The melody does sound a little familiar. It's a nostalgic melody. The tune is simple and gentle, yet lonely. I'm sure that Illya is happy. Otherwise, she wouldn't be singing on the way home. On the other hand, I can't help but think, maybe Illya sings to herself a lot. With no one to talk to and no father waiting to greet her at home, perhaps this is the only way she can express herself when no one else is around. That's possible. You guys sing in the shower? Are you guys shower singers? Do you guys sing at all? I know I don't. At the edge of the road, I look up at the tall, curved traffic mirror. It reflects me holding a lot of bags and a girl singing with her eyes closed as if in a dream. And there's nothing else to say. We're just a brother and sister on the way home after buying groceries. The sight is so natural, so ordinary that I can't help but imagine how wonderful it would be to see Kiritsugu here, in between the boy with the groceries and the lively little girl. Oh, that would piss Illya off big time. I hold my breath.
何シロ？
She innocently turns around. She must be hiding how she really feels. Illya is shutting off her own feelings. Ever since Archer disappeared, she's become sullen at times. That's how we can have moments like this. Because if she doesn't hide how she really feels, then she can't smile. That goes for me too. I've known it all along, but I kept pushing it off, thinking about it, turning away from what needs to be said. Illya lets things be this way, so I joined in on the lie.
シロ？
Illya must have given up. She stopped pursuing it and decided to keep us company at our end. That's okay. If Illya's happy with our current relationship and willing to ignore it all, then it will end without her losing anyone else. But still,
イリア、この戦いが終わった後、もし帰るところがないんなら。
I'm crazy. I'm saying something that doesn't need to be said, but I have to say it while I still can. I'm going crazy. That's all the more reason.
イリア、このままうちで暮らさないか。
I need to say it now properly before I completely lose my mind. She stops. With a flat voice, Illya asks.
それはキリツグの息子として？
She watches me quietly. Now, I think he means it as just himself. Kiritsugu's son. What Kiritsugu couldn't do, what he left behind. I must carry on that responsibility as his son even if we aren't related by blood. I have to settle things with this girl, not because Shirou Emiya wants it, but because Kiritsugu's son owes it to her. That's what Illya is asking me. Yeah, and my answer is, of course,
ああ、俺は親父の息子でイリアが好きだ。一緒に暮らしたい理由はそれだけだ。
本気？シロウがキリツグの代わりをするの？
いや、俺じゃキリツグにはなれないし、キリツグの代わりもできない。俺とキリツグは別の人間だ。けど、俺は親父が好きだ。親父にできなかったことを果たしてやりたい。だから、イリアがキリツグを憎む心の中に、少しでも許してやってもいいって気持ちがあるんなら、俺はイリアと一緒に暮らしたい。今までできなかった分、これから取り返していくのはダメか。今のままでいいから、イリアと一緒に暮らしちゃいけないのか。
she doesn't answer. Illya looks down for a while and then slightly shakes her head.
それは無理だよ。私は長生きできないし、シロウも長生きなんてできない。
That is true.
だから、一緒に暮らすなんてできないわ。
We have heard multiple times that Shirou is, he's already a bit on death's bed. He's already, like, getting ready to be shipped down the river. We just don't know specifically when. The same can be somewhat said for Illya. She is, not even entirely human. She rejects me with a smile like a pretty flower.
長生きできない。
そんなこと、もう分かってるでしょ？ええ。どっちかがどっちかを犠牲にすれば、少しは生きられるかもしれない。けど、二人一緒は無理だと思う。ほら、だからできないの。シロウがいないエミヤの家には、私の居場所はないんだから。
Illya's words are filled with certainty. The silver-haired girl describes a grim future like a prophet.
でも、ちょっと残念かな。今の言葉、もうちょっと早く言ってくれたらよかったのに。そうしたら、そうしたら、ほんの少しだけ、運命は変わっていたかもしれないから。
I don't understand what she's saying. Not her declaration that one of us has to die, or how she can say it all with a smile.
バカ言うな。そんなことにはならない。ゾウケンがイリアを狙っていようと、その前に俺たちでゾウケンを倒す。イリアだってそのために遠坂に協力してくれてるんだろ？
そうね。けど、それが問題なの。これはリンには黙っていてね。シロ、宝石圏の投影。遠坂の遺産を複製することは、リンの方法じゃできないの。だって、シロウの投影は投影魔術じゃないんだもの。普通の投影魔術なら、ある程度オリジナルに似せたものに投影を重ねて、補強することはできる。けど、シロウの投影は違うわ。シロウは、1から10まで全部を自分のイメージで作らないと、形にできない。だって、あなたの魔術は投影じゃなくて、自分の心を具現化するものなんだから。
Couldn't you still argue that that is technically projection, though?
イリア、どうして？
How does she know that Archer's magecraft is a manifestation of his mind's shape?
だから無理なの。リンが必要としているものを作るには、シロウはアーチャーの腕を使うしかない。さっきみたいな一時的な記憶の欠損なんかじゃ済まされない。一度でも使えば、シロウはもうシロウでいられなくなる。シロウは自分のこと、さくらのこと、私のことでいっぱいいっぱいで、ちょっと混乱してるんだよ。だから、今の誘いは忘れてあげる。シロウだってわかってるでしょ？全部を選ぶことはできない。助けられるのは一人だけなんだって。
Illya turns away and starts up the hill. The nostalgic tune is gone. Ilya's words linger in my ears. Well, that was a lovely conversation, wasn't it? And nighttime approaches. A shrill noise comes from the kitchen. It's the fourth time tonight that I've heard heard that unpleasant sound.
ごめんなさい。大丈夫ですから。
I hear Sakura's voice from the kitchen. Tosuka just frowns. She seems tired of warning Sakura by now. It's shortly 6 o'clock, or shortly before 6 o'clock. Sakura asks us to make dinner to close out the day, and she chased me and Tosuka out of the kitchen, so we've just been waiting around for her to finish making dinner. Another plate or bowl breaks. It's the sound of Sakura's failure that we've gotten used to hearing for the last half of today. Let's rewind to noon. Sakura couldn't make stew after Illya and I went out for groceries. She was waiting for us when we got home, but she clearly wasn't feeling well.
大丈夫です。確かに熱っぽいけど、お昼ご飯ぐらい作れます。
And it's true, she could have cooked us lunch. But we weren't going to make her push herself when she was clearly suffering from a fever. By the time Tosuka and I convinced Sakura to take a nap, it was already past 2 in the afternoon. Before she did, she insisted,
じゃあ、熱が下がっていれば、お台所に立っていいんですよね。
and went off to bed. Then came evening, and I'm not sure when my training ended, but when I finished and went back to the living room, Sakura was already starting to cook dinner.
お疲れ様です、先輩。待っててください。すぐお夕飯にしますから。
And then she cheerfully went back to her cooking. I could tell with a single glance that she was putting on a strong front. You're tired, so go rest. I said that Tosuka and I would make dinner, but Sakura refused to back down.
もう、先輩も姉さんも、あんまり過保護にしないでください。
I don't think that's the
私
problem
だっ
here.
てマスターです。これぐらい、戦うことに比べたらなんてことないんだから。
She stubbornly refused to back down no matter what we said. On top of that, she refused to let us help, especially Tosuka. Tosuka reacted with more surprise than I expected.
だって、姉さんは先輩を鍛えてくれているでしょ。なら、私だって役立たずじゃいられません。私も姉さんみたいに何かの役に立ちたい。それに、これは私が今まで受け持ってきた役割だから、これだけはずっと私が受け持っていたいんです。
It sounds like this is something that Sakura just can't give up. I can only imagine how defeating it must feel to stop doing something that she's done routinely every single day, no matter how hard it is to move her body. Fine, take care of dinner, Sakura. Tosuka got irritated and started to criticize me, but that only made Sakura say,
はい、頑張ります、先輩。
it was hard to be negative in front of that much enthusiasm.
はい、長らくお待たせしました。
With everything in the kitchen broken, her bright voice reaches the dining table. Sakura confidently sets plate after plate on the table.
お、炊き込みご飯。手が込んでるな、さくら。
先輩がいいアサリとエビを手に入れてきてくれたので、今夜は海鮮でまとめてみました。ご飯はアサリの炊き込み、エビは包み蒸しにして、イカはエスニック風に仕上げて、とどめにイリアちゃん対策でハンバーグまで完備したのです。
She puffs up her chest proudly. The dishes that she's laid out on the table do show brilliance unlike anything she's made so far, so she must have put her heart into making them. The secret ingredient is effort. And applause. We other 3 diners applaud the display.
一時はどうなるものかと思ったけど、我慢した分の見返りはありそうね。じゃあ、ありがたくいただきます。
私も遠慮なくいただくわ。シロ、そっちのフォークちょうだい。
はいよ。じゃあ、それじゃ、俺も失礼して。
おかわりありますから、いっぱい食べてくださいね。
I make a quiet bow and pick up a steamed dumpling with my chopsticks. At a glance, the round bite-sized dumplings resemble... Say what now? I have no idea how to pronounce that. I don't want to butcher it. I don't want to seem like more of an idiot than I already am. They're beautifully formed and accompanied by an exquisite balance of spring onions, ginger, and daikon sprouts. I was uneasy letting Sakura cook for 4 people, but I can't complain now that... Uh-oh. My chopsticks stopped moving. All 3 of our expressions must have frozen for an instant. Oh no. We pretend not to notice and quietly keep eating. We have to keep eating. The colorful dishes taste inconsistent. They don't taste bad per se. They just each seem to lack a subtle flavor of or taste off balance. The silence is uncomfortable. We keep quietly eating, not quite looking at each other. Still, it's impossible to play it off. Sakura cooked this. She'll realize it tastes wrong as soon as she eats it. Our silence is just a prelude to that discovery. I look up at Sakura. She should have realized it by now. Yeah, she's sitting there in shock. And she hasn't taken a single bite. I try to watch her inconspicuously so that she doesn't notice. I wonder what's wrong. Sakura's looking down at her rice bowl and chopsticks with a troubled expression. She hesitates and then resolves herself to reach for her chopsticks. But then she drops them with a clatter. She hastily picks them up again and tries to gloss over it by picking up her rice bowl too. I hate it when the game does that. I can't directly watch her doing it. Sakura repeats the effort several times. She clumsily moves her fingers and warily picks up the food with her chopsticks, only to drop it each time and try again. It's more than just difficulty controlling her fingers. Her awkward movements look like that of someone who knew how to use chopsticks until a few seconds ago, but forgot once she picked them up. This is very sad. Like, not in a demeaning way, it's just, it's really unfortunate. We're not looking. It's a slip-up that anyone would notice right away, but we don't see it. I tell myself it's just dinner as usual, even as she fails over and over. She awkwardly manipulates her chopsticks onto the food, finally manages to eat 1 bite, forgets how to hold the chopsticks, and has to remember all over again. I can't bring myself to interrupt her desperation and ask her if she's all right. Tosuke hasn't noticed. She's pretending not to notice and quietly eats her dinner. That would sound better, in my opinion. So am I. We all pretend not to notice anything wrong with Sakura and finish our meal in silence. That is rough. What a weird day. I decided to clean up after dinner. Sakura tried to help, but I cruelly turned her away. It's obvious she can't help clean in her state, and I don't want Sakura to have to confront another routine that she can't do anymore, as she mentioned earlier.
いいから部屋に戻って、ちゃんとあったかくして寝てろ。ほら、昼だってあんなに熱があったけど、寝てたら引いたんだろ？なら今度だって。
I basically tell her that if she lies down and keeps her body from moving, she'll be able to move her fingers again. It doesn't make much sense, even to me. Sakura bites her lip in anguish, looking away.
さくら、別にこれからずっとってわけじゃない。調子が悪い時に無理をしたら、治るのが遅れるだけだ。さくらが悪いわけじゃないんだから、しばらくは甘えていていいんだぞ。
そんなことありません。私、どこも悪くなんかないんです。
Yeah.
熱だって下がってるし、ちゃんと昨日のことも覚えてるし、先輩の顔だってわかります。私は今まで通りで、心配されるようなことなんかない。ないから、そんな風に心配されなくても、ちゃんと。
心配されなくても大丈夫か？バカ言うな。さくらがそうやって無理をするなら、俺もはっきり言うぞ。夕食の準備に2時間もかけた。不注意で7回も食器を落とした。おまけに、味付けだって失敗してた。塩加減はまるっきりできてないわ。胡椒は効きすぎだわ。 桜の料理とは思えない。張り切るのはいいけど、結果が出ないようじゃ逆効果だろ
This is rough right here, man.
う。わかったか？桜は元気なつもりでも、小さなところで熱が残ってるんだよ。そうでもなきゃ、桜があんな失敗するもんか。言っとくけど、俺は怒ってるからな。明日から厨房には立たせない。完全に治るまでは無理なんてさせないから、おとなしく眠ってろ。
I think it's an important stance to take, but Sakura is only going to get worse. I don't think any amount of rest is going to help at this point. She's trying to live her life normal, but it's not going to work. She is getting worse and worse as days go by. I don't wait for her to answer and lead her by the hand to her bedroom. Her footsteps are heavy, but I ignored them and took her to her room. Like I said, it's sad, but not in a demeaning way. Tosca is waiting at the door. It's now 10 p.m. Time to go out on night patrol, even if it might be a waste of time.
早かったわね。で、さくらは？
一応寝かしつけてきた。なんだかんだ言っても疲れてたんだろうな。
そう。じゃあ後のことはイリアとライダーに任せましょう。姿は見えないけど、ライダーは屋敷のどこかでさくらを警護してるだろうし。
As Tosaka says, Ryder's constantly protecting Sakura. She probably hasn't taken material form to avoid burdening Sakura.
おそらくあと数日も持つまい。
I recall the priest's words. As long as the Holy Grail War continues, the crestworms inside Sakura will keep eating her magical energy. In her state, it's dangerous to materialize her servant, and even if she does, Ryder won't be able to fight. Ryder must be standing guard in spirit form, with that in mind.
暗い顔ね。何か言いたいことでもあるの？
I don't really think there is anything else to say. Something I want to say. That's a dumb question. Of course there is.
遠坂、今晩のうちに造剣を倒せないか？
We can't afford to drag this out much longer. Sakura grows weaker every day. If the priest is to be believed, well, she could die tomorrow.
無理よ。今の私たちじゃ相手にならない。焦るのもわかるけど、さくらを助けたいのなら今は我慢なさい。私たちが倒れたら、それこそさくらは助からないわ。
今はまだ戦わない。ああ、それはわかる。
巡回の意味がないって言いたいの？シロー、私たちは造剣さえ倒せればいいの？違うでしょ？聖杯戦争に巻き込まれて無関係な人間が死ぬことが許せないんじゃなかったの？
She's right. I know that. I do. There's a purpose to these patrols. We'll have to flee if we run into the enemy, but we have to do whatever we can to prevent more people from falling victim like they did last night. But what exactly did I swear to protect again?
シロー、ちょっと大丈夫エミヤくん？
いや、少しめまいがしただけだ。それよりすまん遠坂、今のは考えなしだった。
いいわ、別に謝らなくても。さくらも危ないけど、あなただって疲れてるんだもの。本当はね、今日の投影は3日に分けて習得してもらうはずだったのよ。それを今日だけで成功させるぐらい頑張ったんだから、今すぐ戦いたいって気持ちはわかるし。
I learned how to use projection today? There is such a gap here.
何かおかしなこと言った？
いや、今日の鍛錬はきつくて、耐えるのに精一杯だったから、時間が湧かないみたいだ。
そうね。無我夢中って感じだったもの。けどその甲斐あって、最後には1回だけ探検を投影できたじゃない。まあ、今のところ成功率は1割以下だから、これから要修行ってことだけど。
Yeah, during that gap, apparently we learned about more weapons and we had a bit of servant data updated. But we don't know anything. I don't even know if Shirou knows what he learned. Therefore, how is he supposed to use that even now? Like, what is the point of training if, like, you don't remember a single bit of it? I mean, there are cases where, like, your body will remember if your mind doesn't, but I don't know if that's necessarily the case here. Well, that makes sense if it happened while I was in a trance. My sense of time must have gone numb from concentrating so hard, it felt like evening came before I even knew it. I hate it when that happens. Because sometimes that shit does happen. It is so unfortunate. Actually, fun fact, this episode is split into 2 recording sessions again. That was not intended. Usually I intend for it because I know my time constraints, but I think it was after we went shopping with Illya. That's when, like, I cut it off because I was just so fucking tired. Like, I could not concentrate anymore. And I didn't want to push myself because I want to provide commentary and everything. So I stopped there, came back, and honestly, I'm trying to remember as we're going along here, what the fuck happened last night, you know? By the time I notice that something's wrong, we've already gone into town. Tosuke must have noticed it too because she's quietly trying to sense something. The view is familiar. The town is dark and quiet after 10 p.m. There's nobody on the streets and no sound at all. It's a silent night that I've grown used to seeing since the Holy Grail Wars started. But it's...
静かね。
Tosuke whispers next to me. Yeah, it's quiet here. For the last few days, the town has become as quiet as ruins, sinking into a still slumber once night falls. And yet, the silence tonight is beyond anything I've experienced so far.
ねえ、あっち側って昨日もああだっけ？家の明かりはおろか、街灯まで真っ暗だけど。
Tosuke is squinting in the direction of Ryoto Temple. It's a part of town on the opposite side of Shinto, just short of the edge of the city. The streets there are completely dark. From here, it's like staring into a black wall.
行こ
That's all I say as I begin walking toward the darkened streets. Tosuke remains silent. It's probably the obvious choice for her too. We both know what's happening there. It's a contradiction. We know exactly what we'll find if we go there, and yet we go anyway, hoping we're completely wrong. Whoa. What exactly did I feel when I laid eyes on it? This dark wall with nothing beyond it. The instant I step through it and I see the town I know, I understand what has occurred. The town is too quiet. Sleeping isn't enough to describe it. This is a complete void without any sign of human life. It's the utter stillness of death, not slumber, when nothing is living anymore. I feel dizzy. The town hasn't changed. Around us, 50 or so houses are as black as night, looking exactly the same. There's no signs of their doors being forced. Nothing broke any windows to get in. Of course, no crane peeled off the walls and roofs to get at what's inside. In the same way, the presence of over 100 residents is simply absent.
エミヤ君、そこの家入ってみましょう。
Why were we thinking of Sakura there? Tosuke puts on some gloves and breaks into a nearby house. We pass by the nameplate. We open the front door. We walk down the hall. We explore the first floor, check the second floor, find absolutely nothing, and leave.
停電している家にいた人は
Tosuke tells me that they're gone. The town looks as it always does at night. The buildings are completely intact and there aren't any dead bodies. It's perfectly clean and nobody will notice anything off once dawn breaks. And yet, it looked even more barren than back then. We checked a few more houses, but our findings were exactly the same. There was no damage to any of the buildings and no people inside. All they left behind were some traces of magical energy that made my chest ache. On every single building, road, and patch of ground, we found dark traces of something stuck to them that keeps its shape and color even now. Again, why do we keep thinking of Sakura? I mean, come on. There has to be some sort of connection between Sakura and that shadow. There has to be here. Whatever that is, we knew even without saying anything that it was the cause of this pristine tragedy. I feel dizzy. I'm irritatingly nauseous. Corpses without bodies. Bleeding without blood. An uninhabited neighborhood devoured by shadow. While I walk through it all on edge, a completely unrelated image comes to mind for some reason. But it isn't unrelated. It can't be if I'm thinking of it here. Stop. Remember, remember. You know this presence, this scent. There's no way. Okay. Huge prediction that I was thinking of before, that Sakura is this shadow. We've never seen both in the same scene before, after all. But there's no way. It doesn't make sense, does it? You did before, too. What did you imagine the first time you laid eyes on that abomination? Don't notice it. It's the same. No, something even heavier attacked everyone here. It's not true. It was the same. Why did you imagine what you saw back then? Because I have no proof. I have no reason. I have no motive. I have no evidence. It doesn't look like anyone. It shouldn't be true. It can't be true. I must not acknowledge it. But the more I think...
もし私が悪い人になったら
See, I took that hypothetically as if, like, you know, she becomes evil because of the worms eventually getting to her, but I guess that's more like, you know, she's just gonna die. I don't have any proof at all, but my mind tells me this hunch is true. I know it is because that sensation was
やめろ。バカなことは考えるな。
too similar to my nightmares of...
シロ、どうしたの？急に立ち止まって。まだ他に気になることでも？
I shake my head and get rid of the dizziness. I must have gotten a whiff of the scent the shadow left behind.
いや、吐き気がするだけだ。俺のことはいいから、話を続けてくれ、父さんが。
本当？参ったわね。向上したシロウの大魔力でもあいつの残滓に当てられちゃうんだ。まあ、あれだけの魔力の塊なんだから当然といえば当然か。そうでもなければ町を食うなんてできないものね。
いや、体力がなくなったとかそういうんじゃない。単に気持ちが悪くなっただけで。
Yeah, for different reasons, you know. Tosuke seems to accept that. More importantly, we need to confirm what happened here.
で、一体何が起きたんだ？
まあ、今までと同じ食事でしょうね。ただ規模が段違いになっただけ。町中に残った後からして一軒一軒訪ねていったなんてことじゃなかったはずよ。あれは津波みたいにあの一帯に覆いかぶさってそのまま地面に溶けていった。よっぽど空腹だったのか一口で食事を済ませたかったんでしょう。けど無機物はお口に合わないみたいね。生きていないものは通り抜けて有機物だけを残らず消化していった。救いがあるとしたら一瞬で消えたことか。痛みも恐怖も感じる時間なんてなかったでしょう。
A bounded field of dissolution. Tosuke explains that the bounded field Ryder deployed at the school was like magecraft with an instantaneous and powerful effect.
問題はそれだけの魔術の発動にもかかわらず魔力を感知できなかったってことよ。あれがあの影の仕業だって言うんならあいつにとってあれは魔術じゃなくただの挙動に過ぎないことになる。要するにあれだけ広範囲の妖怪も黒い影にとっては寝返りみたいなものだってこと。
I see. But it's over now. The shadow disappeared somewhere once it did satisfy its hunger, and we have no reason to pursue it now. Our patrols have lost their purpose, and there were new victims despite our efforts, and we can't even detect the shadow who is the key culprit. Whether it was the shadow or Zoken, well, I thought we might be able to get a read on their movements and run to the scene to intervene. But that's lost its meaning now. We don't have any way to track the shadow, and more than that...
分かってはいたことだけど、あいつ日に日に成長してるわ。このペースでいけば、次に出た時は手をつけられない怪物になっているでしょうね。
Right now, we don't have any chance of winning. Well, yeah, even I could have told you that. An interlude. Ooh. crazy. But it's just a regular interlude. It's not an evil interlude. Okay, not really sure who we're following here, but we'll save that for the next episode, which I'm probably going to be recording, like, shortly after this, because, like I said, 2 recording sessions for this episode that, you know, I didn't mean for it to be that way. However, I got to get this episode out today because, you know, I didn't want to push it a whole another day. Me and my exhaustion, it was a crazy week. However, I also wanted to address something. So, I've kind of been ignoring the obviousness of, like, there used to be H scenes in some places, and I can very easily see what they changed here. You know, the whole blood sucking. Yeah, I get it. I get it, guys. I understand what that all used to be. It's pretty obvious what that all used to be, and it would make more sense the way that Shirou and Sakura acted after all of that, the awkwardness and stuff. I get it. I totally get it. It's just that I have to put that at the back of my mind, and I have to experience the story as it's being presented to me. Even so, it's a little messy because of the changes that they made. I can definitely see how the story was constructed with H scenes in mind. It definitely seemed to flow a whole lot better. So just wanted to include that little tidbit that, like, I knew it back when I was going through the scene. Like, I'm sure there were a lot of other, you know, saucy moments that I also, like, in the back of my head, I knew were even saucier, but were kind of, you know, massively tuned down for this remaster here. So I think we're on the same page, guys. But yeah, fun episode regardless. Very strange day, I guess you could also say. Very, very strange day. And me kind of forgetting some of the events that happened in the first half of the episode also adds to this just being a really weird one for me. But it's all good. We'll get back to it in the next episode. Hopefully things are a little better on my end, and we just continue to figure out what the fuck is going on. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe if you did, and I'll check you guys, or I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope to not check you guys out in the next one. Hope to just, whatever.